Welcome to another Delta Force playtest video. This time around it's the open playtest and you can play as well, at least for some time. And therefore I wanted to hear what you guys think, especially if you are a newcomer and trying out the game for the first time. I played the former playtest and of course it was not that many people around at that point of time because now everyone can join and therefore we will have even more feedback. But even so, I've heard people talking, especially guys like me, meaning content creators and also gamers that have been playing the former playtest. And now when they get into the second one here, they start to wonder, well, it's exactly the same thing we just experienced. Nothing new, not a new map or anything like that. However, when I saw this discussion online when it comes to some guys being definitely disappointed that they didn't get any new content or whatnot before the actual release, meaning now in this second playtest, well, then I thought we would talk about that for a second. You see, I've been around for some time and I have experienced this before because usually what devs do, not all, but very often, they present an older build that they know work for that particular part of the world or and region, and they stick to that because they're also busy trying to finish the final product, meaning the game, or at least the early access build you'll see when the game is launched. So from a technical standpoint of view, I'm not surprised that we're actually playing the same game or the same version of the game, if you will, once more in this open playtest. But at the same time, this is going up during the Steam Deck Fest, and of course it would be a great opportunity to highlight or show the game even more, because I do believe that there's a Chinese version out right now in early access already that has at least 2 new maps for the Havoc Warfare game mode as I'm playing here, and some new maps also for the extraction mode. I also believe there's some new progression in there and even new audio. So of course you get curious, you would like to hear or listen, play, experience the same thing as they are doing over there right now. I'm thinking about the Chinese version. But again, they have been answering on social media when it comes to developers such as Twitter. And they've said, again, that they released the best localized version depending on what land you're in. And I guess we just have to stick to that right now. Especially since an early access aren't too far away if we're going to believe what we've heard or read. Also when it comes to this part of the world, meaning the Western world, probably going to be out soon in Q4, where we're at right now. Meanwhile, we can talk about things that we would like to see improve, getting better before launch and everything. I have been once more, when I came back to the game again, felt that the gunplay needs to be worked on further. I haven't really felt or seen that there's a damage range drop off regarding certain weapons in comparison to each other. I believe it's quite important in a shooter like this, and maybe also look into the gunsmith system in the game as well, since this might have to do with this matter too. I don't really know. I haven't really gone into depth when it comes to the gunsmith, so you can tell me. But from what I've seen and also examples of that when it comes to other content creators, you can literally turn almost every weapon into the game as it is right now due to the gunsmith system into a laser beam. The intention in this large-scale warfare casual shooter is not that it's gonna be like that. Usually there's a reason also why many FPS games have attachment limits. I guess the devs needs to take some time to figure this one out, since you don't want to stop people fiddling around with a gunsmith or have fun customizing the character of the weapon, so to speak, but at the same time not being able to build weapon balance out of the game either. I also felt that the mouse input sometimes feels a bit off in the game. I can't really put my finger on it, but since I am a mouse and keyboard player, there is something I need to mention. Not really know how it works with a controller. If you are doing that or playing with a controller, let me know your thoughts. Of course, we also have still some general bugs. I guess you have seen that by now, even though it might be the first time you play the game. But again, we're playing the same build, so hopefully this is fixed when the release is around the corner, meaning the early access version that will most likely be out soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens in November or something like that. Usually I read and hear a lot of positive things when it comes to Delta Force, but at the same time, when the game or the playtest has been out there for some time, you also get feedback that are on the positive side of things. I see some people, especially when it comes to this game mode, Havoc Warfare, they feel that some of the maps are too small, or some, we have 2, with no cover, which can be a problem. I felt that once in a while too, especially with the other map I'm playing in this video, I tend to forget the name, where you can get shot literally 360 from different angles. Some also feel that the game feels soulless, a bit of a art direction that is a bit bland. I don't know what you think about that. In a way I can understand, because we have to remember that this feels a lot like a Battlefield kind of clone game, especially more towards Battlefield 2042. A Battlefield game that I thought felt a bit soulless and quite bland, to be honest. But in comparison, I prefer this game even so, and again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when we get into early access regarding fixes and of course also new content into the game. However, we have a kind of a thing that has been going on now for years. Remember when Battle Royale games were like the hot thing? It still is in a way, but we have some games, 3-4 games that are dominating in many ways in that kind of genre. Now it has been so many extraction shooters that has been released and hero mechanic shooters, if you will. And that's like the big thing in many ways, and therefore a lot of people go into the extraction game mode in this game instead of playing, as I'm doing here, a respawn game mode a la Battlefield, if you will. What about you? Are you more into the extraction side of things, or do you prefer this, for example, like a good old respawn game mode, Battlefield style? Let me know in the comments, and of course also when it comes to feedback overall. When it comes to your own experiences, maybe just watching videos or and playing the playtest yourself, what do you think about Delta Force and what are the chances that this game will do well, and what does it take? Well, there's a lot of questions there. You can pick one if you want to or not. I'm happy that you were here watching my video. Thanks a lot. If you enjoyed, feel free to give a like. It helps me out here on YouTube. And until next time, I hope you have a good time and talk to you soon again. Later.